Okay, meaning from what you need plus 5.5 lakhs. So anyway, the idea given by Kanak is that each one would speak on the topic that's against their name. So I'd invite Mr. Shashank Gopal to talk about mutual funds.
More mic there. Yes, we can sit comfortably and we can just talk so that the things can roll.
Sure. Am I audible till the last chairs, last benches? Okay. Good afternoon, friends. Thanks a lot to Kanak, and I have the privilege of being seated next to some of very privileged, very senior and very experienced professionals. I've got just 3 minutes to speak on how mutual funds work. Now, speaking on mutual fund, it works on two different areas. One is in terms of structure. Now, that's what I'll not deal with. How mutual fund works for all of us here. I think in the morning session when we heard Ashish speak about elaborately on mutual funds and investors and investments, a lot of examples have already been discussed, and that makes my responsibility or deliberation much easier. But I'll just touch upon few very points. One is, how many of you know in this hall sitting as to by drawing a salary or by being in service, how many of you know that people have become billionaires? Anybody? With salaries of whatever salaries, unless they have invested in something at some point of time, very few, at least not in my knowledge, have become billionaires. Of course, we'll let it be in dollar terms or even in rupee terms. When we talk, we'll have to then talk about hundreds of crores of rupees. Which essentially means that person who take risks are also the persons who get rewarded the most. Now the point is, why does bank give us interest, as Ashish mentioned? First of all, let us understand, to extend his example, that money is a factor of production. So interest is an earning on that, a premium paid for that. Somebody who is willing to take risk has automatically given a premium for that, incentive for that. If somebody is unwilling to take risk, he should also get earning. But then that earning is purely interest earning and is not related to growth. I am sure all of you have heard that you do not want to take risks, but therefore you invest in bank fixed deposits. But tell me one thing, how many of you know that this word guarantee has actually no meaning? All of us feel very safe putting our money in fixed deposits in banks, in public sector banks, even in private sector banks, reputed banks, because we feel our money is very, very, very safe. Where does this mental concept of safety come in while putting our money in bank deposits? For those of you who do not know, and for those of you who know, there is a Banking Regulation Act which specifies that every depositor is insured against only 1 lakh rupees of money that he has put in the bank. Which essentially means that if the bank goes bust, even if you had crores of rupees in fixed deposit, the bank has no liability towards you. All of us remember 9/11 in terms of Twin Towers going down. How many of you knew before it happened that a plane can be used to crash into the Twin Towers to destroy it in minutes? Something that has never happened, we do not wish to believe that it can happen. And because something has happened, we always believe that this is what is going to definitely happen. Today, world across, all big towers are carefully monitored and watched as to if any flying object is coming near it. But the point is, the same thing may not happen in next couple of 100 years. So because banks have not failed in India, or because of socio-political reasons, banks will not be allowed to fail, some of the big banks will not be allowed to fail, does not mean the socio-political situation will not change and banks will not fail, or technically cannot fail. Because we must remember that there is only one organization, one unit, one institution in this country, in this economy, whose guarantee has any meaning, and that is RBI. Because it can print notes to honor its commitment. Therefore, the guarantee of RBI is the only valid guarantee. And therefore, any other organization, institution, a guarantee is a mental comfort, is a guarantee, is a legacy that we have been brought up, environment we have been brought up, because when we were, if we go 40, 50 years back, the only means of investment that savings we confused with were SBI, Post Office, UTI and LIC. Till the UTI fiasco happened, we didn't even know that UTI was essentially a mutual fund. So let's clarify once for all that saving, investing, getting insured, they're all very, very different things. And as Ashish put it very rightly, the world has changed. Today, if something happens for any medical reason that we have, we do not go to a general MBBS or a family physician. The first thing we do is go to a specialist. If we have a problem in the ear, we go to an ENT specialist. If we have an eye problem, we go to an ophthalmologist or an oculist. But we definitely go to a specialist. But as he said, that we get emotional with our own money because we believe that if we can earn money, we definitely know how to make it grow. That does not remain so. Because the world, particularly in all areas, including financial services, including investments, including wealth management, there has been a substantial development, innovation, change, and it's very, very complex. So the first thing to do is that if we really want to sincerely manage our own money, we must outsource, as you rightly put it. To whom? To the specialist. And how do we identify a specialist? There are all parameters that we know. So, there are two choices. One, invest in instruments, organization, institutions where there is relatively less risk. There is nothing called no risk. And what is that return we can expect? By investing in places, institutions where there is no risk, there is something called a guiding rate, which is called the risk-free rate in every economy. In our country, that risk-free rate is the reference rate that we call is the 10-year Government of India security issued by RBI. So whatever is that rate, that is the rate any investor should get without taking any risk. If a person is investing, which essentially means he is taking a risk, still he does not get that much return, that means it is not worth taking that incremental additional risk. But if somebody is expecting a higher return than that benchmark risk or risk-free rate, then he is entitled to a return higher than that base rate. What he has to consider on the hindsight is that whether for getting that extra 3% return or extra 4% return, is this additional risk worthwhile? There are very few organizations in this country, or rather I will say other than mutual fund industry, there is no other industry, no other money managing industry, no other investing industry which can offer you some return with relatively much lower risk even for one day. Mutual fund industry has that product, wherein you invest today, you take your money out tomorrow with some return which is higher than bank fixed deposit sometimes, which definitely is much higher than your savings rates. All of you, there are mix of people who have service, who are in business. So as a parting information sharing, I will do this, that there are 52 Saturdays in a year roughly, and there are 52 Sundays in a year, which cumulatively comes to about 104 days. Add to it another 15-20 days of holidays, bank strikes, etc. That puts the number at about 120, which means out of 365 days, about 120 days our money remains absolutely completely idle. Whereas all of us sitting here, or most of us sitting here, generally work at least 12 hours to 16 hours a day. We work hardest, stretch ourselves to make our life better, to earn more money, whereas we don't make our money work harder. Whereas Monday to Friday, the money remains in circulation. We receive checks, we bank it, we issue checks, they get banked, the money comes in and goes out. But Saturday, Sunday, neither we get hit with checks or payments, nor our check is able to encash by the counterparty. So every Friday, if we put in money and take it back on Monday, and somebody gives you about 8%, 9% return, how does that sound? Now, there is a specific problem. Those who are from outside, all of us know that there are certain organizations, institutions which offer rates, fixed deposits, which are extremely non-transparent, unorganized. People invest there in the lure of return. Mutual fund is the only industry, even banks do not tell you where they are going to put their money. Mutual fund industry, they tell you where they are going putting their money, and on an everyday basis you come to know how much your money has grown to or degrown to, what is the status. You get an option to exit or re-enter at any point of time, even if on a daily basis. You walk into a bank manager's room after having done a 1 year fixed deposit, ask him, sir, where you put my money, I want to know. Or how much my money has grown in last 3 days. What is the answer you will get? He'll show you the door. Not only that, even banking industry has certain thing called NPA, which means if you put 100 rupees in a bank fixed deposit and the bank has 4% NPA and the bank has promised a 10% return, the moment you put in your money first, that 4 rupees out of that 100 rupees goes towards servicing that NPA, non-performing assets. So on 96, the bank deploys, the bank has to generate a return of 10% of 100 rupees to be able to pay you. And mind you, bank does not do it for free. They have their administrative cost and they have to have profits, which makes it tougher for any organization to do that. Whereas when you invest in mutual funds, other than all other benefits, we pass on in entirety whatever is the actual return in exchange of a very, very insignificant, minute, negligible professional management fee. So with the constraint of time that we have, I would like to discuss many more such things which you can discuss offline, or some of the questions you can be specific and we can answer that. But my submission to you is that today when we are sitting here, we do not reinvent bulb, because it has already been invented decades ago. So you are all enjoying the benefit and fruits of somebody who has invented bulb. Mutual funds are exactly like that. The innovations have already been made. There is no need to reinvent wheel. So when these innovative products, customized products are available in the world of financial services, all of you must find out more about it, understand about it, and ensure that you enjoy the benefits of that financial innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was actually nice, but I'll request the moderators to be the timekeepers also, so that we can have more and more questions and things keep.
That you would give us that opportunity.
Yeah, be the timekeepers. Yeah.
Because, I think all of us are aware that the lunch is after we finish. And you would all go very hungry. Anyway, move on to the next topic. I believe our country is saving less. And the economic impact on lower saving, my good friend Varun Das